Anne of Cleves. The fourth wife of England's King Henry VIII is a woman who rarely takes center stage in popular history. Unlike Anne Boleyn, who lost her head on the scaffold, or Catherine of Aragon, who fought a king for her marriage. Anne of Cleves is often remembered only as the one Henry divorced, or the ugly wife. But who was Anne of Cleves behind these dismissive labels? What was her life truly like before she met Henry, during those 6 brief months as Queen of England, and in the 17 long years that followed? What does her last will and testament reveal about the woman history has largely forgotten? Tonight, we'll explore these questions and discover the real Anne of Cleves. So relax, settle into a comfortable position, and let your mind drift as we journey through the quiet, aching story of the loneliest queen in Tudor history, the tragic death of Anne of Cleves, the wife, Henry VIII, called ugly. Our story begins not in the grand palaces of England, but in the quieter, more orderly world of the German states. Picture, if you will, a castle near Dusseldorf in September of 1515. Berg Castle stands solid and gray against the autumn sky, its towers reaching upward through the mist. Inside these walls, Duke Johann II of Cleves and his wife Maria welcome their second daughter into the world. They name her Anna. The Germany of Anna's childhood is a very different place from Tudor England. Here, women hold real power. Anna's mother, Maria, doesn't simply bear a courtesy title. She governs. She makes decisions about taxation property and the administration of estates. Young Anna grows up watching this, absorbing lessons about female authority that will prove both useful and confusing in the years to come. Anna has 3 siblings, an older sister, Sibylla, a younger brother, Wilhelm, and a younger sister, Amalia. The sisters are close, spending their childhood together in the castle's quiet rooms and sunny gardens. Their education differs markedly from what English princesses receive. While Henry VIII's daughters learn music, dancing, and languages, Anna and her sisters study property law, estate management, and practical household skills. They learn to cook with their own hands, to sew and embroider, to manage servants, and organize elaborate feasts. Imagine Anna as a young girl, perhaps 10 or 11 years old, sitting at a large wooden table as her mother explains the intricacies of land tenure. Or picture her in the castle kitchens, flour dusting her hands as she learns to knead bread alongside the servants. These are not the accomplishments of an English princess, but they are deeply valued in German noble culture. Anna loves riding. She's fearless on horseback, joining the family hunts regularly, her blonde hair streaming behind her as she gallops through the forests surrounding Berg Castle. In these moments, she is free, unaware of the cage that awaits her across the sea. Life at Berg Castle follows a predictable, comfortable rhythm. Mornings are for work. Men handle politics and administration. Women oversee domestic operations and estate management. Afternoons bring socializing music and gentle entertainment. Evenings mean elaborate dinners, sometimes stretching to 9 courses for 300 guests. It's a structured world, but not an unhappy one. Anna seems content. Religion in the household of Cleves is complicated, reflecting the chaos sweeping through Germany in these years of Reformation. Mother Maria remains strictly Catholic, faithful to Rome. Father Johann is Catholic as well, but sympathetic to Lutheran ideas. Sister Sibylla becomes a passionate Lutheran reformer. Brother Wilhelm maintains his Catholic faith while keeping friendships with Protestants. Sister Amalia devotes herself to Protestant reform. Growing up amid this religious fluidity teaches Anna something crucial: flexibility, tolerance, the ability to bend without breaking. She learns that survival sometimes means adaptation, that rigid principles can be dangerous. This lesson will serve her well, though perhaps not in the way her family intended. At 11 years old, Anna is engaged to the son of the Duke of Lorraine. It's a typical noble arrangement made without consulting the children involved. Anna probably gives it little thought. She has 7 years before the marriage would take place, but 7 years later, when Anna is 18, the engagement is quietly canceled. The reasons remain unclear. Perhaps political alliances shifted. Perhaps the Duke of Lorraine found a better match for his son. Anna doesn't seem upset. She's content at home with her mother, learning to run great estates, riding through forests, living the secure life of a German noblewoman. The year 1538 brings change and sorrow. Anna is 23 when her father dies. Her younger brother Wilhelm, now Duke of Cleves, inherits everything. He makes the decisions now. He controls Anna's future, her marriage prospects, her entire life. Anna, for all her education in estate management, has no real power over her own destiny. Across the sea in England, King Henry VIII faces his own sorrows. His third wife, Jane Seymour, has died in childbirth after giving him the son he desperately wanted. Henry needs another wife, both for companionship and to provide more male heirs. His chief minister, Thomas Cromwell, suggests a political alliance with Cleves. It's a Protestant-leaning duchy, strategically useful in the complex web of European politics. Cromwell reaches out to Wilhelm. Henry wants to see portraits of the unmarried sisters Anna and Amalia. Wilhelm refuses for months, perhaps sensing danger, perhaps simply following German customs about displaying unmarried women to foreign men. Eventually, English ambassadors manage to see the sisters from a distance, both heavily veiled. They report back favorably, though they've seen little. Henry grows impatient. He makes Wilhelm an offer too generous to refuse, no dowry required, and Henry will pay Wilhelm 100,000 florins. It's an enormous sum. Wilhelm accepts immediately. He writes to England that Anna looks forward eagerly to the marriage. Imagine the scene when Wilhelm tells his sister she will marry the King of England. Does Anna feel excitement? Fear. Both she's 24 years old, educated, capable, but she's never left Germany. Barely speaks English, knows nothing of the dangerous, shifting world of the Tudor court. In November of 1539, Anna says goodbye to everything she's ever known. She embraces her mother Maria, perhaps both women weeping. She holds her sister Amalia close. She bows to her brother Wilhelm, who has sold her to a foreign king. She walks out of Berg Castle and begins the long journey to England. The journey to England is long and difficult. Bad weather delays the crossing of the Channel. While waiting in Calais, English nobles entertain Anna, trying to make her feel welcome. They find her cheerful, gracious, eager to please. When she finally lands in England, people line the roads to see the new queen. They cheer, They wave. They seem genuinely happy she's here. Every noble who meets Anna writes to Henry with the same message. She's lovely. She's charming. She's as beautiful as Hans Holbein's portrait showed. That portrait, which still survives today, shows a serene, elegant woman with a long face, blue eyes, and blonde hair, pulled back under a German headdress. People describe her as tall and slim, graceful in movement. Everything seems perfect. The wedding is planned for Christmas, then postponed to January 6th, 1540. Henry grows restless, anxious to meet his bride. On New Year's Day, he can't wait any longer. He conceives a romantic plan that will turn into humiliating disaster. Henry decides to arrive in disguise. According to English courtly tradition, true love transcends appearances. The lady will recognize her lover even through a disguise drawn to him by the magnetism of their destined connection. Henry believes this will be magical romantic, the perfect beginning to their marriage. He has no idea he's about to make the worst mistake of his life. Henry is no longer the golden prince of his youth. He's 48 years old, grossly overweight, his leg rotting from a jousting injury that never properly healed. He limps, leaning on a walking stick, the wound on his leg stinking of infection. But in his mind, he's still the handsome young king who once made ladies swoon. On New Year's Day, 1540, Henry bursts into Anna's chamber wearing his disguise. He strides up to her and kneels, kisses her hand in the courtly fashion. Anna recoils in shock and confusion. Who is this strange man? Why is he touching her? This isn't how things are done in Germany, where unmarried women are carefully protected from male attention. She turns away, repulsed. Henry is devastated. She was supposed to recognize him, to play along with the courtly game, to see through the disguise to the king beneath. Instead, she's rejected him, shown disgust at his touch. His romantic fantasy crumbles into humiliation. He storms out, throws off his disguise, and returns wearing royal purple. Now Anna understands that was the king, her future husband. She bows deeply, terrified of having offended him. Henry kisses her briefly coldly and leaves without a word. Henry returns to Greenwich Palace in a rage. He tells his advisors that Anna is nothing like her portrait. "I like her not," he declares bluntly. He demands to know if the marriage can be cancelled. But it's too late. Cancelling now would insult. Cleves destroy the political alliance Cromwell has carefully constructed, make England look foolish before all of Europe. Henry is trapped, and he blames Anna for the trap. The wedding proceeds on January 6th, 1540. Imagine Anna in her wedding gown, surrounded by strangers in a foreign court, marrying a king who has made clear his disgust for her. The ceremony concludes. They are husband and wife. The morning after the wedding night, Thomas Cromwell nervously asks the king how things went. Henry's response is brutal and crude. He makes humiliating comments about Anna's body. He doubts she's even a virgin. He tells his doctors he's perfectly capable of performing his marital duties, just not with her. What Henry is really doing is building a legal case for annulment. But in the process, he publicly humiliates his wife, turning the entire court against her, before she's been queen for even a single day. Within weeks, Henry tells his council that God won't allow him to consummate the marriage. He orders them to investigate Anna's old engagement to the Duke of Lorraine's son. Perhaps it was legally binding. Perhaps the marriage to Anna is invalid. His counselors understand exactly what he wants from them. As winter turns to spring in 1540, Anna senses something is wrong, but she can't quite identify what. She tries desperately to please Henry. She smiles when he's near. She behaves with perfect courtesy. She believes their quiet life together is normal. Henry still dines with her, occasionally still lies beside her in the royal bed each night, but it's all for show, for appearances. The court whispers constantly. The king is cold, distant, clearly unhappy, and behind closed doors, gossip spreads a shocking rumor. Does the queen even understand what marriage means? The truth is even more heartbreaking than the gossip. Anna truly doesn't understand. She grew up in a household where men and women were kept carefully separate until marriage. Nobody ever explained to her what happens between husband and wife. German noble culture valued female modesty to such an extreme that Anna arrived in England completely ignorant of physical intimacy. She believes that holding hands, sharing a bed, and kissing goodnight constitute a proper marriage. When her ladies-in-waiting carefully ask about her relations with the king, Anna answers with an innocence that silences the entire room. He kisses me and takes my hand and says goodnight. She explains, looking around with a gentle, confused smile. Is this not enough? The ladies exchange glances, but say nothing. How do you explain to a queen that her marriage doesn't truly exist? Consider Anna's situation with compassion. She arrived in England and became queen within weeks. She barely speaks the language. She doesn't understand the complex, dangerous politics swirling around her. She doesn't know she's already been replaced in Henry's affections, that he's already chosen his next wife. By spring of 1540, Henry is openly crossing the Thames every evening to Lambeth Palace, visiting his new mistress, Catherine Howard, 16 years old, the Duke of Norfolk's niece, and one of Anna's own ladies-in-waiting. Londoners notice the king's boats crossing the river each night. They feel sympathy for Queen Anna, this foreign woman being so publicly humiliated. But Anna herself probably has no idea what's happening. In her innocence, she may think the king is simply conducting business, attending to royal duties. The affair unfolds right under her nose, and she doesn't see it. On June 24th, 1540, Henry sends Anna to Richmond Palace. His excuse is plague in London. He's protecting her by moving her to the countryside. It's a lie. Less than 3 weeks later, on July 10th, Henry's representatives arrive at Richmond with a document. The king wants a divorce. Their arguments are simple. The marriage was never consummated. Anna's old engagement to the Duke of Lorraine's son was legally binding. The marriage to Henry is therefore invalid. If Anna agrees quietly, she'll be treated with kindness and generosity. If she fights, the unspoken threat hangs in the air. Anna breaks down completely. She bursts into tears, sobbing uncontrollably. She refuses to sign. She summons the ambassador from Cleves, demanding he write to her brother Wilhelm. But within one day, a single day, Anna calms down and accepts the divorce. Why? Anna grew up hearing stories about Henry's previous wives. Catherine of Aragon, divorced and humiliated, separated from her daughter, dying alone and heartbroken. Anne Boleyn, accused of adultery and treason, her head struck off with a sword. Jane Seymour, dead in childbirth. Anna understands that fighting Henry is dangerous, possibly fatal. She makes her decision quickly and graciously. She writes to Henry that she accepts the annulment and hopes to still enjoy his company, sometimes perhaps as a friend. She signs everything he asks her to sign. Henry is shocked. He expected her to fight, to threaten him with war from Cleves, to make difficulties. Because Anna gives him exactly what he wants so easily, Henry feels generous toward her. On July 12, 1540, Henry offers Anna extraordinary terms. She can return to Germany or stay in England with an income of £4,000, annually a genuine fortune. She receives multiple estates: Richmond Palace, Bletchingley Manor, and Hever Castle, the former home of Anne Boleyn. Henry declares publicly that Anna is still a virgin, free to remarry anyone she chooses. He gives her the honorary title, the King's beloved sister. She'll be welcome at court and will have precedence over every woman in England, except the current Queen and Henry's daughters, Mary and Elizabeth. Anna accepts everything. She goes even further in her attempt to appease Henry. She tells him he can read all her letters to her family before she sends them to ensure she's not plotting against him. She writes to Wilhelm, "I'm happy. I'm staying in England." And just like that, Anna of Cleves disappears from the center of public attention. The marriage lasted 6 months. The rest of her life will last 17 years. Imagine Anna in July of 1540. She's 24 years old, divorced, living in a foreign country, unable to return home without shame. But for the first time in her life, she's free. No husband controls her. Her brother Wilhelm, far away in Germany, has no power over her daily life. She's wealthy, independent, and legally able to do as she pleases within the bounds of royal favor. Anna settles into her estates and lives quietly. For 17 years, she moves between Richmond Palace, Hever Castle, and her other properties. She's described as kind and generous to her servants, paying them well, treating them with respect. She maintains good relationships with Henry's subsequent wives, Catherine Howard before her execution, Catherine Parr afterward. One cryptic moment stands out. At Catherine Parr's wedding to Henry, Anna smiles faintly and murmurs to someone nearby, "Madame Parr is taking a great burden unto herself." Was it jealousy speaking a warning? Or was Anna thinking of poor Catherine Howard, beheaded at just 19 for adultery? Nobody dared ask, and will never truly know. Anna remains close to Henry's children, Mary Elizabeth and young Edward. During her brief time as queen, she tried to be a loving stepmother. Now she strengthens those relationships, perhaps finding in them the family she left behind in Germany. Even Mary, who initially distrusted Anna as a Protestant foreigner, comes to love her. Anna's approach to religion reveals much about her character. She's incredibly flexible, perhaps too flexible for her own spiritual good, or perhaps wisely practical. She arrives in England as an Anglican. When young Edward becomes king in 1547 and pushes Protestant reforms, Anna declares herself Protestant. When Mary takes the throne in 1553 and restores Catholicism, Anna declares herself Catholic. Is she simply telling each monarch what they want to hear? Or did growing up in a religiously divided family genuinely teach her that ideology matters less than survival? We can't know her heart, but her flexibility keeps her safe and in royal favor through 3 very different reigns. During Edward's reign, Anna attends court regularly. She walks behind Princess Elizabeth in Mary's coronation procession in 1553, honored and respected. But then comes Wyatt's Rebellion in 1554, a Protestant uprising against Mary's planned marriage to Philip of Spain. Queen Mary suspects Anna might have helped the rebels, though there's no evidence. Anna is no longer invited to court. She's confined to her estates, cut off from the royal family she's come to love. No court, no friends, no purpose. For the first time in years, Anne of Cleves is truly, completely alone. In the spring of 1557, Anna's health begins to fail. She grows thinner, paler, her appetite fading. She suffers pain that grows worse each week. Modern historians believe she was suffering from cancer in its final stages. She's only 41 years old. Anna lives at Chelsea Manor, surrounded by servants, but isolated from everyone she loves. No husband, no children, no blood relatives. They're all in Germany, hundreds of miles away. Anna left her family 18 years ago and never saw them again. Letters cross the sea occasionally, but letters are poor substitutes for embraces, for familiar voices, for home. On July 12th, 1557, Anna realizes she's dying. She calls for her servants and her lawyers. She must dictate her last will and testament. The will is written between July 12th and 15th, 4 days. To get everything in order, 4 days to say goodbye on paper, 4 days to distribute her worldly goods and settle her affairs. She's in terrible pain, but her mind remains clear. She thinks carefully about who should receive what, about the people she wants to remember, about the debts she needs to pay. Even dying, Anna is trying to do everything correctly, to please others, to avoid giving offense. Anna's will reveals who she truly was beneath the label of rejected queen. After giving instructions for her burial, she asks to be buried wherever Queen Mary thinks best and wants a Catholic funeral. Anna's first concern isn't heaven or legacy. It's her debts. She asks Queen Mary to allow her executors to collect rent from her estates until September 29th, enough to pay what she owes. If that's not sufficient, her jewels, robes, and cattle can be sold. Money had grown tight in her final years. She owed people, and it weighed on her conscience. The woman once shamed by a king didn't want to die with more disgrace attached to her name. The same money would also cover her funeral expenses and gifts for the people she wanted to remember. Anna's will divides her bequests into 4 categories: servants, charity friends, and family. But it's messy, with names scattered across the pages, added as she lay, dying, trying desperately to remember everyone before time ran out. Anna had a large household, 18 gentlewomen, 8 daily gentlemen, grooms, yeomen, even children. She leaves all of them 12 months' wages. This is astonishingly generous. Most nobles gave servants a few weeks' pay when they died. Anna gives a full year's income, ensuring they'll have time to find new positions without hardship. She knew these people had cared for her long, after everyone else forgot she'd once been Queen of England. She remembers individuals too. Dorothy Curzon and another gentlewoman each receive £100 to help them marry an enormous sum that could change their lives completely. Mother Lovell, who cared for Anna during her final illness, gets 40 shillings for her attendance upon us in this time of our sickness. Catherine Share and her daughter receive exactly £66, 13 shillings, and 4 pence, likely back wages, owed to them, every coin carefully accounted for. But one section of the will breaks your heart. Anna lists 8 servants from Germany, the ones who followed her across the sea 18 years earlier. She gives each of them 40 shillings for travel money home. Think about this for a moment. Anna wanted to return home herself, back to Cleves, back to the quiet, safe world she once knew. But she couldn't. A divorced queen can't go home, not without shame, not without whispers following her through the streets. So she makes sure her German servants won't be stranded in a foreign land when she's gone. They can go back to their families, back to the world Anna left behind at 24 and never saw again. She doesn't even forget the children in her household. They each get 20 shillings. Her doctor, John Simons, receives £20 for his great pains, labors, and travels. Her surgeon, Alan Blonde, gets £4. She even sets aside expensive black mourning cloth so her servants can dress properly when she dies. Anna refuses to be unmourned. She refuses to be forgotten. She asks Queen Mary personally to oversee everything, a smart move. Anna reminds Mary that Henry VIII once promised to treat Anna's servants as his own. By invoking Henry's memory, she shields her people one last time, protecting them even after death. She leaves £4 for every poor person living on her estates at Richmond, Bletchingley, Hever, and Dartford people. She never met people who lived under her care simply by accident of geography. She leaves money for alms and for poor children to be educated. This was rare in 1557. Anna knew what it meant to be powerless and far from home. Her executors are powerful men, the Archbishop of York, the Earl of Arundel, and 2 trusted knights. She rewards them with valuable gifts, gold treasures, bowls, cups, and jeweled jugs she used every day. They're not just valuable, they're personal objects she touched and looked at throughout her quiet years. But for her closest friends, Anna saves her jewelry. She gives away rings with table diamonds, rings with engraved initials, rings with mysterious stories behind them. One ring bears the letters H and I. Historians still wonder what they meant. Henry and who Anna herself, using the Latin spelling of her name. Perhaps it was a memory. She never quite erased a small token of what might have been. Then come the most moving gifts for Anna's family back in Germany. Her brother Wilhelm, her sisters Amalia and Sibylla, the ones she hadn't seen since leaving in 1539. She sends them precious rings, a heart-shaped diamond, a pointed one, a ruby, glowing red as her family's coat of arms. Each ring is a final message across the sea. Did they cry when the boxes arrived? Did they remember the sister sent away to marry a king who called her ugly? Did they regret letting her go? Finally, Anna remembers Henry's daughters. Queen Mary receives Anna's finest jewel. Princess Elizabeth receives the second best. Anna never forgot them. She'd been their stepmother for only 6 months, but she stayed loyal for 17 years. She even asks Elizabeth to employ Dorothy Curzon, the servant Anna cherished most. Anna's will overflows with generosity. Money for the poor education for children, rings for family she never saw again. And yet, something crucial is missing her houses. Anna's grand homes, Hever, Chelsea, Richmond, and Dartford, don't appear in her will. They were never truly hers. Henry gave them to her for life only. When she dies, they return to the crown. Even in death, she's still bound by Henry's rules. She lived richly, but never freely, never powerfully. Everything returns to the crown. She can only give away her personal possessions, money, jewels, plates, clothing. This is heartbreaking. Anna has no children to inherit from her no permanent legacy. When she dies, the crown takes back everything. It's as if she were never really a queen at all, just a woman borrowing a royal life for 17 years. On July 16th, 1557, just 4 days after finishing her will, Anne of Cleves died. She was 41 years old, possibly 42, depending on which records you trust. She died surrounded by servants in a foreign country, far from everyone she'd known as a child. Think about her life for a moment. She left Germany at 24, believing she would be Queen of England forever, that she'd have children and grandchildren, that she'd found a dynasty. Instead, she got 6 months of marriage, a humiliating divorce, and 17 long years of quiet, lonely peace, all because a king called her ugly. After Anna's death, Queen Mary keeps her promise. She chooses the burial site personally and orders vigils to be kept for Anna every night until the funeral. The funeral is set for August 4th, 1557, nearly 3 weeks after Anna's death. Mary is giving Anna honor a grand state funeral fit for a queen. Anne of Cleves is buried in Westminster Abbey on the south side of the high altar, near where Mary and Elizabeth will one day rest. Even in death, she's close to the stepdaughters she loved. Her tomb was plain for centuries. It had no inscription. Tourists walked past without knowing who lay there. Only in the 1970s was her name finally carved in stone. Anne of Cleves, Queen of England, born 1515, died 1557. Even her grave tells her story. Quiet, hidden, humble. A woman forgotten by history, but remembered by those who knew her heart. As you drift toward sleep tonight, consider one final mystery about Anne of Cleves. Remember that Henry VIII gave her the right to remarry anyone she chose. She was 24 years old, wealthy, free, and legally able to marry. So why didn't she? For 17 years, Anna lived alone. She never took another husband, never even seemed to try. Was she too afraid after what happened with Henry? Too traumatized to trust another man? Did she prefer her independence, finding freedom in her quiet estates? Or did she secretly love someone she couldn't have? We'll never know. Anna took that answer with her to her grave beneath the stones of Westminster Abbey. What we do know is this Anne of Cleves didn't need a crown to prove her worth. Her kindness became her legacy. Her will became her voice. And her story, her quiet, aching story, still echoes through the centuries, reminding us that the rejected queen was perhaps the wisest of them all. She survived. She endured. And in the end, she died with dignity, surrounded by the people she'd treated with compassion throughout her long, lonely years. Perhaps that's legacy enough.